Welcome to the garden. Having just shifted the compost bin, I'm now ready to plant up this bed with some tomatoes. Thumbs up? No thumbs up. About a month ago I posted a video on easy garden compost. Be sure to check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's been composting beautifully and is now ready to move. There's still quite a bit of uncomposted material on the top. This is pretty much what I expected, and all of this will go onto the bottom of the next one. Using my fork, I simply transfer the uncomposted material on the top into the bottom of the composting bin in the new spot. It was all a bit stuck together, so I had to loosen it up with the fork after putting it in. As I got further down, the material was well on its way to being composted, but it wasn't quite ready yet, and with it now on the top, it will speed up the composting of the top bit that is now in the bottom. Once I was down to the good stuff, I spread it out across the patch. This compost smelled like soil, and that's it. It didn't smell like all the rotten things that I put in there. This is how you really know if your compost is working. After that, I made sure I knew where the irrigation was and turned the whole patch over, working the fresh compost in. If it smells rotten and gross, things aren't composting properly, and you really need to have a look at what you're putting in and how you have it working. It might need a few tweaks here and there to get it going properly. So I'm planting Roma tomatoes today. Some are bought seedlings and some were grown from seed way back in autumn when my wife got a bit too keen and was quite upset when I told her it was way too early to grow tomatoes. But they hung in over winter and it'll be interesting to see how they go compared to the bought ones. I'm planting them along the dripper lines, which are 30 centimeters or 12 inches apart. Once I've prepared the holes, I gently take the seedlings out of the punnet and carefully separate them, placing them next to the hole ready to plant. To plant, I simply drop them in the hole and fill it in. I like to plant my tomatoes a bit deeper than they were in the punnet. As long as the top leaves are above the ground, they'll be fine, and can even do better as they make roots up the stem that's been buried. And I do basically the same thing with the potted ones grown from seed. Time to give them a good watering in, and yep, you guessed it, with sea salt. There's one other special ingredient that I like to use for tomatoes, sulfate of potash. It sweetens the soil and helps your tomatoes grow strong and healthy. Just half a handful on each plant. I'll give them another dose when they start fruiting. Then water that in as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel to see more, and until next time, happy gardening!